This is a video of a miniaturized power supply in a snap-in module package. It is a buck converter with an output voltage range of 0 to 32 volts. Here's a totally miniaturized power supply. It's a 4-digit resolution. It's running 2.00 volts. It's running 6 milliamps and a 1/100th of a watt. This is a DPS 3003. It's used with any DC power source from 0 to 40 volts. This one is plugged into a 12 volt AC adapter. The unit supports an output current of 0 to 3 amps, plus it has 10 memory presets. In my opinion, the biggest advantage of this unit is that I can set it for as low as 1/100th of a volt or 1 milliamp of current. The following is an example of the unit's constant current feature plus a way to mount it into an enclosure. The enclosure has no ventilation, but it is normal for a GAN's job to run at less than 1 watt and should pose no concern for heat buildup. The unit has an output power limit of 96 watts. In that case, a well-ventilated enclosure with a fan would be a better choice for such loads. Okay, I want to do this video of this module that I found. It's a power supply module that has 4-digit resolution, just like a lab bench supply. And it's good for up to 32 volts output and up to 3 amps output. And so what you do is, because it's a buck converter, you have to supply voltage to it, and the output voltage is always going to be less than what you put into it. So this is a laptop AC adapter, and it's 19 volts. So I'm going to plug it in and just show what it does here. Okay, first you see the welcome screen. And here it is. This is what is very similar to what the lab bench supplies show. It's got volts, amps, and watts, all out to 4 digits. And right now the setting here is for 2 volts and 2 amps, and it's set for constant voltage. And down at the bottom you can see the input voltage. It's saying 19.14 volts coming in. That's coming in from this AC adapter here. Now this is an on-off switch. What this does is it sends output over to the load. And I'm not going to turn it on now because it's a little too much for a little too hot. So I'm going to lower that and show how it's setting for making it lower. So I'm going to reduce the amps down to a 1/2 amp. Okay, so there it is. It's set for a 1/2 amp and 2 volts. Now normally if you put on 2 volts, this is a 2 ohm resistor here. So normally when you send 2 volts to a 2 ohm resistor, it's going to want to run it at 1 amp. But I've got it set for a 1/2 amp. So what that's telling the power supply to do is to no, don't send 2 volts, just send it for a 1/2 amp. And see, it says CV there. That stands for constant voltage. That's the default. But when I send the output over there, it's going to say, oh, it says I only want to send a 1/2 amp there, so I better put it on constant current. So here it is. I'm going to put it on, and there it goes. See, it went CC for constant current. So what it's doing is sending basically a 1/2 amp right there over to the load, and instead of sending 2 volts, it's sending 1.13 volts. So the reason I like this, okay. This is a snap-in module, very similar to I've got a couple of other ones in the shop that they were buck converters that went down to a 1/2 volt, which is the lowest I've ever had any buck converters go down, and I thought that was amazing. And somehow recently I ran into this, and I thought, man, I got to get one of these because this is really handy for the shop. I can set this thing down to like 1 milliamp and let it run, so it can do pretty much anything you want to do. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show. And I like the fact that I can put it in this really rugged enclosure here. I've got a number of these out in the shop. A more powerful unit plus a ventilated metal case with a fan are also available from the same supplier. This is a DPS 3005. It has an output voltage of 0 to 32 volts, an output current of 0 to 5 amps, and an output power limit of 160 watts. The supplier offers a ventilated metal case with a fan. This unit needs more heat dissipation than the DPS 3003, so I felt it was a better choice for the enclosure. The DC power source is a 150 watt laptop AC adapter. The power inputs on the metal case will need this adapter. I attached a couple of banana plugs to a DC power jack with a pigtail. The fan provides good cooling, and the vents on the metal case direct the airflow over the heatsink where it counts. The power supply modules were a little more expensive than most buck converters. I paid about $25 and $31 for the DPS 3003 and the DPS 3005, and about $22 for the metal case kit. I've included a list of links for the items in the description below. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching.